Yo, welcome to another episode of BBOYTECH Modular Journal. And in this episode, I want to kind of get into this particular build that I did. Now, it's been a while since I think I left off on episode 3. I can't remember. But what I've done since then, in my short time of being into modular and having my own rig, is obviously my rig has grown. I've acquired some things and sold some things. That's an interesting thing about getting into modular that I want to make the point of before I get into what kind of the topic of the show is. But as you start getting into modular, you'll probably find, like I did, that everything looks appealing, a lot of things look appealing, but there's only a few things that are going to really speak to and resonate with your style of creation. And when you're putting together your modular rig, you might find those modules sound dope, look dope when that guy and that guy use them, or when the company demos them. But when you get them into your rig and you bring them into your lab, maybe things, I found that a couple of modules I had were dope, but one or two of them were just kind of more noisy than I liked them to be. And while that may be some other people's style, I kind of find that my style is, as you may know if you've been following my IG, is a little more boom bap, soulful, or smooth in some ways, you know what I mean? So those kind of modules and stuff that I can get down with, that kind of thing, resonates more with me. So I got rid of a couple of modules that had some sweet spots, but didn't have enough sweet spots and didn't quite speak to me enough for me to justify keeping them around. So in that case, I've kind of trimmed things down, but I'm still sitting here looking at 12U. I'm still sitting here looking at 12U. And so what I've done, and I'll show that, one of the rows is all effects, and then I have my Beat People case that you may know of, that's 6U anyway. And most of the top row are oscillators or, things that make noise, and the other row are all, utility type stuff and, ADSRs and whatever the case is. So at any rate, that's that. That's how I've grown. But what I want to get into this time is I got a little care package from my people at Synthrotek, and it had in it the MIDI to CV converter and the MIDI to CV expander. It also had the ADSR, their new ADSR joint in there, and Superpower Red. Now the reason, some of those are for review, and I'm going to talk about all of them anyway, but the reason I got those is because I was building this little bitty skiff from when I was at KnobCon. I ran into my people at Art for the Ears, Dave at Art for the Ears, and he had these dope little cases. I'll throw a picture up right now so you can see those. These are the cases that I copped from him, and they kind of match my Beat People case. I love that. But I was sitting here and going through a whole thing about, okay, what I'm going to do with these cases. So at any rate, what I ended up doing with the care package that I got from Synthrotek is I built out the little 48 HP Skiff, mini Skiff, or my drum machine buddy Skiff, right? Because what I'm doing with that is, and I'll show you, is this. Right, so what we have here is basically a little portable modular rack that gives me everything I need. I have a filter there. That's the Synthrotek low pass filter. The Erica Pico VCA, dual VCA. I have the Synthrotek ADSR. I've got Disting MK3. This is the Pittsburgh Modular DNA Symbiotic Waves. It's so versatile. Yeah, it's digital, but it's so versatile. So it's a dope little sampler buddy, or beat machine buddy. I'll be using this to review the Innovation Circuit. But at any rate, what else it has? Beyond the DNA Symbiotic Waves, it also has, like I said before, the MIDI to CV converter by Synthrotek, and then the expander by Synthrotek, and then this is the Red Power, Red Superpower, and this is the 48 HP Skiff. So there's a lot of dope stuff that can happen with this. Let's get into the actual build. ADSR, MIDI to CV, then the MIDI to CV expander, arpeggiation and stuff, and Superpower. This is the project for the day. We're gonna make this into all that. It's a little compact piece. So let's get into it. These go away. So again, got this Synthrotek low pass filter. It's so sweet. This is the MST joint. It's really sweet and smooth, warm. And this little skiff I'm making, I do not have a VCA, so I'm going to use this as a VCA, among other things, because obviously it's a kind of like a army knife, Swiss Army knife. Ooh, nice. So I'm just gonna lay all this in here without screwing it in first, because I'm gonna place it the way I want it to be. Let's see what they give us in here. Aha, nice. Always need more of these. Dope. One more room. Figure it out later. So, just like building computers back in the day. That's why I love modular, actually, because it's like building computers back in the day. So, this plugs into the MIDI to CV converter. That's where it gets its power, or where it transfers its data to be able to communicate with one another. And then they live like that. And they both get connected to the power once the case power is in. Synthrotek sticker and another button. Dope. Let's get the ADSR joint going. This is so dope. Boom. Now for the power, then I'm going to start rearranging these in the way that I want them to be. I have one last piece to get, and that is the 2 HP LFO, so I can modulate things. Word. Nope. Boom. So I need the power ribbons, so we'll do part 2 of this tomorrow when I stop to get power ribbons for that. So we're gonna have this rack full with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 modules, 9 modules. You say impossible, I say possible. So, let's see. I like to put my power on the right, but that ain't gonna work like that because the ribbons need to be here. So the power is gonna be on the left. And let's see. I like to do utility modules next to the power. So MIDI. Uh-oh. Okay, let's do this. So this may be a little too deep. Oh no, it'll work. It's working. Okay. We'll get it. We'll work it out. So far, so good. I'll continue this video when I get the power connectors for the power. I have this to plug into the wall. And we're going to be good to go. To be continued. That's the 48 HP Skiff. What I had in there, the only thing that I swapped out from what you can see is I took out the Synthrotek delay and I put in the Erica Pico dual VCA. So I figured I needed that a little more than the delay in this particular setting. But because I can get delay off of my MPC or the DAW or whatever, there just wasn't enough space in this particular thing. But I could almost call this a Synthrotek Skiff because of how much Synthrotek stuff is in there. But at any rate, that's going to end this episode of the Modular Journal. And I'm going to do another one really soon so that I can go through and show you how I work with my little drum machine companion, Eurorack Skiff. Next episode. Peace.